Galnet News Digest review of the year 3304. We recall the news so you don't have to. Part 3. Aisling's wedding and the bot hacking scandal. Aisling's wedding. Princess Aisling Duval's wedding to Ambassador Rochester is the most talked about social event that never happened. In April, in a rare moment of political acuity, Princess Aisling questions whether the Federation and Alliance have done enough to support Aegis in its scientific and military efforts against the Thargoids, a suggestion that Commodore Riri McAllister of the Alliance Defence Force roundly rejects. However, there appears to be support for Aegis being more open about its strategy. Commentators discuss whether the princess's speech shows that she's more than just a fluffy-headed heiress. But if they expect better of her, she's soon to prove them wrong. In May, journalist Solomon Hilius begins the speculation about whom eligible bachelorette Princess Aisling might marry, now that Admiral Denton Petraeus is out of the running. He identifies 3 likely suitors: wealthy old Senator Caspian Leopold, passionate young anti-slavery campaigner Jarl Teredo, and the federal ambassador to Duval's home planet, Jordan Rochester. Leopold is seen as the safe candidate. Teredo represents the passion of youth, while Rochester is seen as a political opportunity to forge bonds between Federation and Empire. For the next 2 months, the press is full of imperial wedding speculation, with first Ambassador Rochester, then Senator Leopold, seen spending time with the princess. Jarl Teredo announces the merging of his and the princess's anti-slavery organisations, Universal Liberty and Stop Slavery Stupid, creating Unchain. Despite this, Teredo hints that the princess's attention might be focused elsewhere, a belief that's validated when on the 22nd of June, Princess Duval announces her engagement to Ambassador Rochester. The princess recognises that marrying a federal citizen is unorthodox, but says that love knows no bounds, and says she hopes the marriage will allow the Empire and Federation to work more closely together. Emperor Arissa Livigny Duval makes no official comment. In July, the date of the imperial wedding is announced as the 25th of August. Slave trader Zamina Torval prophetically attacks Aisling's romance as a reckless public relations exercise with the sole purpose of keeping Princess Aisling in the limelight. Shares in Core Dynamics, a corporation in which Jordan Rochester's elder brother Jupiter is a senior executive, fall sharply, amid speculation that the Federal Navy will be unable to do business with a corporation that has an imperial connection. The month of August begins with an apparent assassination attempt on Princess Aisling, with a number of bombs detected and defused at an Unchained anti-slavery rally in the Zhao system. The perpetrators are never caught. But worse is to come. Shortly afterwards, it's revealed that the prismatic princess has been conducting a secret romantic relationship with her Unchained partner, young and dashing Jarl Teredo, even after her marriage to Ambassador Rochester was announced. Teredo resigns from Unchained, but also reveals that the Blue Rinse princess has no romantic feelings towards Rochester, and that the marriage has been arranged purely to advance her political scheming. If Teredo feels betrayed, it's hard to see how Rochester could feel any different. 3 days before the wedding, on the 22nd of August, Rochester's mother, Congress member Isolde Rochester, issues a terse announcement calling off the wedding. The date of the wedding passes with no further comment from either side. Princess Aisling disappears from public view, although there are unconfirmed reports that she's been seen disguised in a ginger wig, broadcasting her adventures to the galaxy. The bot hacking scandal. In late August and early September, the Mars Tribune scoops 2 major scandals. But everything is not as it seems. Seoul-based Congressman Morgan Unwin is revealed to be not only in debt to the criminal Red Family cartel, but to be trafficking huge quantities of drugs on the cartel's behalf. Unwin is arrested and Kingsley Cordova, the Tribune's owner, is feted by federal Congress. Actor Thomas Turai is then revealed by Mars Tribune to be having an extramarital affair with Olympic athlete Regan Lord. This is politically significant, as Turai's husband is Senior Core Dynamics executive Jupiter Rochester, the brother of Ambassador Jordan Rochester, jilted fiancé of the Imperial Princess Aisling Duval. Turai and Lord announce their intention to sue the Mars Tribune, but owner Kingsley Cordova says he's confident in the truth of the story. A third scandal hits Seoul when business magnate Lloyd Hardacre is arrested for fraud after details of fraudulent misuse of company funds are revealed at a shareholder meeting by an apparently faulty administration robot. It's later revealed that a surveillance program has been embedded into the Achilles Corporation robot, and that the Federal Security Service is investigating. In October, more administration robots in the Seoul system are discovered to have spy software installed. Owners start destroying their PA912 robots amid fears that they might all be fitted with spy software. The Achilles Corporation denies any wrongdoing, pointing out that its 20 million robots are trusted throughout the Federation. The administration robots of disgraced businessman Morgan Unwin and two-timing Thomas Turai are discovered to have the spy software installed, creating the suspicion that the Mars Tribune, which exposed these scandals, might be behind the spy software. The Mars Tribune strenuously denies any involvement and hints that if the FSS tries to implicate the Tribune, sensitive information about the FSS that may have been gathered by spy robots might become public. The incorruptible Federal Security Service instantly rules the Mars Tribune out as a suspect in the bot hacking scandal. Lieutenant Inspector Ramesh Thorne of the FSS is suspended after making an unauthorised public appeal for information linking the Mars Tribune to the spy software. However, Thorne's appeal results in a lead, followed up by the Federal Times, which makes contacts with a robotics engineer at Achilles Corporation, who claims that she was blackmailed by Kingsley Cordova into installing the spy software onto PA912 robots destined for the Seoul system. Acting on this information, the Federal Security Service arrests Cordova and shuts down the Mars Tribune. The Achilles Corporation uses a kill switch provided by the unnamed robotics engineer to remove the spy software from all its robots, and it also pledges to replace any robots destroyed by their owners. Lieutenant Ramesh Thorne gets a promotion, and they all live happily ever after, except for Kingsley Cordova and the staff of his newspaper. The rise of Nova Imperium. A new threat to the status quo is rising from within the Empire. In November, radical political group Nova Imperium rapidly gained support throughout the Empire for its uncompromising isolationist agenda. Led by the shadowy Duke Kaizo Mordanticus, who styles himself the Imperator, the organisation calls for the overthrow of the relatively liberal Emperor Arissa Livigny Duval and for a return to the days when the Empire was great, when the Empire was strong and pure and could repel the Thargoids all on its own, a time of war, a time of uncertainty, a time of famine. Nova Imperium finds a figurehead in a previously unknown descendant of the now deceased Emperor Hengist, called Hadrian Augustus Duval, grandson of a slave with whom Hengist had a brief affair. Anti-slave trade campaigner Princess Aisling Duval, who would have been first in line to the throne had Hengist not disowned her father, and slave trader Zemina Torval both speak out against Nova Imperium. But as the campaign to overthrow the Emperor gains traction, the Federation and Alliance ready themselves to intervene in what many fear may rapidly devolve into civil war in the Empire. Vitadyne Nanomeds. A new miracle drug is developed, but is it all that it seems? Following the merger of Allied Medical Industries and Neosalve Incorporated to form Neomedical Industries at the beginning of December, it's instead independent startup Vitadyne Labs that announces the medical breakthrough of the year. Nanomedicines work at the molecular level to slow aging, heal injuries and cure almost any disease or infection, and could lengthen life expectancy by up to 50 years. After exhaustive clinical trials lasting nearly a week, the Interstellar Health Organization declares that nanomeds are indeed wonder drugs, and authorises their sale on the open market. Sim guru Pranav Antal, the leader of Utopia, claims, however, that Vitadyne Nanomeds are in fact technology stolen from a utopian medical transport that went missing earlier in the year. He demands the return of the technology to Utopia on the grounds that people living outside this magic realm should not be permitted good health or a long life. And that was part 3 of this year's Galnet News. Galnet News, we recall the news so you don't have to.